Welcome back, folks. Today we're looking at upgrading the solar. For those who've been around the channel for a while, you probably would have already seen the video how I did our DIY roof rack to hold our solar. If not, I will leave a link up here so you can go and check it out. Now, when we set out and built the van, solar was far more expensive than it is now. And I think it cost us kind of £450 for our solar back then, and that gave us 525 watts on the roof. Fast forward to today, and I've got two 450 watt panels, which were just under £70 each. So £140, and I'm going to get 900 watts on the roof rather than the 525 that's currently up there. Now, I do need to change a few little bits and pieces. The MPPT that I've got is the 150, which will support up to 700 watts of solar before it starts capping out. So I'm going to add a second one of those as well. So I'm going to add in the second MPPT in the garage, run new cables down for the roof, and then I'll be able to run two separate panels on two separate MPPTs, which hopefully will really optimize the amount of solar that we can get. Now, we haven't run out of solar at all, energy battery as it were. We haven't run out of battery power. Lowest we've got the battery down to is 68%, and that was when we was up in the Arctic. Now, you may say, well, we don't really need to add more solar. But I'd rather have it in the situation where I'm able to pull in more and charge the batteries quicker than not. And then longer term, the plan is potentially to add a second battery as well, so I'll have more of a capacity to fill, but that's for a later video. But first off, I've got to go and take the ceiling down inside the back of the van so I can run the extra solar cables. So what I've got to do initially is take this panel down here, and the surround of the max air has got to come off, and this panel here. Now, where I've put each of these beads is where the ribs are in the roof, so you'll be able to, once I take these off, I can just undo it, pull these down. It means that I'd have access to the roof. Now, the current set of cables that come through over here, and then the puck's around here somewhere, so I need to try and get in that space again there and make sure I stay on the high points of the roof. For now, I'm going to get these panels down. I'll be right back. Right, after a little bit of perseverance, I've managed to get the ceiling section down. Where I built it so solid, I've had to just drop the cupboard a little bit where it lipped over, just so I could free it up and let it out. And I've obviously taken the cover down from the max air. What I've now got to do is get up on the roof and figure out exactly where I'm going to be able to come through. Can't quite see it from here. However, the cabling for the is here for the current solar and for the current puck that's up there as well. I'm going to come in around here somewhere on this line, which is the next rib over on the roof, so I should be clear of all the cables and everything else. Right, time to do some bits on the roof. Right, I'm up on the roof. Here's the two existing cables that go through, and there's obviously the puck that I said about, and this is the line here I'm thinking of going. This cable for the puck comes kind of across here, so I'm probably going to do that to be safe, to make sure that I don't hit the existing cabling. There is a rib just after the back end of that, so I'm probably going to have to come around here somewhere to make sure that I miss that rib that goes across there, and also all these cablings for this here. So around here somewhere is where I'm going to need to go. So I need to put two holes in the roof and go down into the cupboard to enable me to get the cabling in. I've now taken off the back slot unit I put here, and I've taken the back panels off. Oh, it's a bit dark. Let's see, I go on the back. So the panel there where the cables go down, and then also I've exposed up the back here. The hole in the roof is going to be around here somewhere, give or take. It's kind of about here, I think, and here, and then it's going to go over here. So the first thing to do now is to run a new trunk in all the way down into the garage so that I can get the new cable on it. It's going to be fun because you may well be able to see there is a lot of cables already in that corner, and I'm just going to add two more to it inside the trunking. Right, so this is going to be fun. I think the hardest part actually is going to be the initial part, getting through the top over there, and then there's a little bit just here where I've got to get around, then it opens up and there's some space, and then at the bottom again it's going to be a little tight. I need to do that and get that round up into the switches in the garage. Right, I'm going to try and run this cable. Good morning, folks, and as you can probably tell, it is the next day. Ran out of time yesterday to start really taking the solar panels off, so I've started doing this morning. I've got the tower up on the other side of the van, ready to start moving the panels. I am using a tower rather than just ladders because I think it's going to be safer, so that's the plan. I'll get up there and I'll just show you what we've got currently on the roof. So this is what we currently have. You have to excuse the wind noise. So this side, these are all held in by wing nuts, so that the idea was to undo them, and then there's hinges on the other side so we can lift these up. I've never got round to making the uprights for these, even though I've got some bar and stuff like. However, I am going to maintain this type of setup is the plan, but I'm going to have a 450 panel at the front here, which comes back to about here, and then the second panel will go back and it'll just overhang over the top of the max air fan, but I've got a plan for that to lift that up a little bit. First thing you need to do, get this bar off, get this panel off, get this panel off. I'll leave the back one still plugged in so it's still giving the system power, and I'll just isolate it out as it were. Then I'll put these two on, take these two off and replace them with the one 450, which will give me a gap here somewhere, and I'll wire this one into the system and take that one out. So again, I'm maintaining power on the system permanently. Before we do anything, of course, I do need to kill the system of solar, which is our double pole isolator switch here. So just gonna turn that off. Right, I will go and check the screen to make sure it's definitely killed it all off. Now I can disconnect the solar up the top. Obviously bear in mind with solar panels, they are permanently live if the sun is up. So I will be capping over the ends, etc., just to make sure that there's no chance of anything earthing out or wires sparking or anything like that. And just to confirm, there on the screen you'll be able to see that there is no solar coming in, so the system is definitely dead of solar. Right, now to unplug and plug the back panel back in, so then I can turn the system back on, so at least it's getting one panel of solar. Right guys, so I've now taken it down so there's only the one panel on there, which is the old panel, which is 175 watts. It's currently giving us 91 watts, 93 watts, which is pretty impressive for just the one panel, to be fair. So happy days. Right, I've now got the first of the 450 watt panels on the roof, and I'm going to connect that up and then I'll show you what it looks like on the roof. It's been a bit of fun and games, but we've got it so we can make it so we can lift the panels up and everything. Right guys, so I'm up on the roof. I know I was going to show you it with one panel up, but time ran away a little bit. It's been a bit of a long old day, and as you can tell the sun is starting to go down, so I can't even get the performance that I was hoping to show you from these probably till tomorrow. But we now have two panels on the roof. So one at the front is 450, one at the back is 450. You will notice that the back panel slants up. I've made some raising brackets here, but the whole thing, both of them are on hinges. So I can lift the front panel up to gain access underneath, but also means I can aim it towards the sun, and mainly the back one is set to do that as well. Now the other thing is that it goes over the top of the max air fan. This is the only way that I could get 900 watts on the roof, but I think it's a really good compromise. It only comes up a little bit, and it's still only about the same height as where the Starvey mount spigot is. Right, okay, so we're going to have to wait till the morning now to get the sunrise to be able to tell what we're going to get out of these panels, because the sun is obviously going down now. But it does look good. I'm really happy with it. What I'll do, I'll get this tower out of the way so you can see what it looks like from the side and from the floor. And there we go guys, so it looks like from the floor. The angle is actually not as bad as you think from being up next to it. And there we go, that's how you get 900 watts on the top of a Victron relay with two max air fans. So that's the solar panels on into the single MPPT. Now it's a case of just adding in the second MPPT. Good morning folks, and welcome back. Here's day 3 of the upgrade of the solar. 310 watts coming in this morning, already back to 99%. So I've gained 10% this morning in about hour and a half, 2 hours. It's about 10:30 now. And I think it started getting solar around about 8 o'clock. It might have been a little bit earlier than that. But yeah, it's doing well. I have got both panels running through the single MPPT at the moment. The next stage is to add in the second MPPT. I wanted it set up so it would actually pull in tonight, pull in last night, and see if I can get back to 100% today, because I'll kill the entire system. The cables at the back there I've now pulled down. I've just done that, and so they're coming through the ceiling up there. then down into the trunk and over the corner. Sorry about the light level in here, it's a little bit dark because we don't have windows obviously. That now goes down into the garage where I've got to add the second MPPT. So I'm going to get into the garage now and get that started. Right, welcome to the garage, guys. So here's the electrics. First thing is the DC to DC here. This is coming out and being replaced by an XS50, but it's going to go on the back wall over here, allowing me to then place another 150 MPPT here, so I'll have them side by side. That will come down into a buzz bar, which will then go into the links box. First of all, I need to get all of this apart, just so I can get to the cabling, and then I can start adding stuff in. And of course, the cabling is here for the extra solar panels, which will need to go into this switch box here, because this should be a 4x2. I just need to open it up and just double check, but I'm pretty sure it's a 4x2, so I can put the extra cables into here and have the one kill switch to kill everything. I've now removed the access panel so I can get in there. But what I need to do is firstly kill the solar, kill the main system, kill the front battery, which I've got a kill switch down here for, because this actually allows you to trickle charge back from the Multi Plus. That's that off. And then next, press the power off on the Victron, sorry, on the Roma. And there we go. That's the Roma battery now off. All I've got to do now is disconnect the solar panels to make the system completely dead. I'll go do that, and I'll be back in the garage. I've now got the cover off of the four-way switch, so I can add in the extra solar into here. I've got to take this off, disconnect from the MPPT here, and then put the two extra lugs in the top, two extra lugs in the bottom, run the cables in from the roof out of here, and then it'll run over into the new MPPT that's going to be sat here. So I just need to undo all of this and take this completely off. Right, after many hours, I've finally got the system back together. So you'll notice that the DC to DC is back where it was. I was going to move it around, but that hasn't happened. I forgot which way the cable went. I thought it went this way, but it doesn't go this way, so I couldn't move the cable. So it's there now. The XS50 will go in place of that. However, I do need to get another one of the connection cables here, and I need to get the USB version to go on to the servo, because as you can see, the servo is full. And then I've got the new DC to DC up here. The only thing left to do now is to connect up the solar and configure it so that they run together and they don't run independently. We've now had the solar installed for around about 3 months now. I want to leave it a little bit of time before I sent this video out to make sure that we can properly test out the solar. You will notice on the 5th of May, the best yield we got was 508 watts. That was from the 525 watts of solar we had on the roof at the time, before we did the upgrade. You'll now notice there are two charts on the screen, one for each of the MPPTs, owing to the fact that each solar panel runs independently from the other. Since installing the two panels, we've regularly managed to get near on 500 watts out of both panels, with the best being 512 on one panel, 525 on the other, and that was on the 6th of July that you'll see on the screen now, which is a grand total of 1037. There's a couple of other occasions where we've got fairly close, with 480 and 532, giving us a total of over 1012 again. So on 900 watts of solar, the maximum we have now pulled in at any one point is 1037 watts, which is pretty impressive if I do say so myself. So with the fact that we've gone from 525 watts to 900 watts of solar, and the maximum we managed to achieve previously was 508, we haven't doubled our amount of solar we've got on the roof, but we have doubled our yield that we've managed to bring in. Comparing the price that it cost us for the original solar panels to now, it is definitely a worthwhile investment and definitely a worthwhile upgrade. I will leave links in the description below for the panels we've used, should you wish to go and pick yourself up a set. If you did enjoy the video or find it useful, then please hit the like button. If you've got any questions or comments, please leave them below.